Okay, this is topic 9 of the revised corporation code. On the topic, board of directors and trustees. The board of directors or the board of trustees, board of directors ang tawag if stock corporation, board of trustees ang tawag if non-stock corporation. Sila, nasa kanila ang corporate powers. That is why they are called the repository of corporate powers. So the board of directors for stock corporations or board of trustees for non-stock corporation will exercise the corporate powers, conduct all business, and control all properties of the corporation unless otherwise provided in the revised corporation code. So pinaka nagpapatakbo ng corporation is the board. Tenure of directors. Ano bang tenure nila? Directors shall be elected for a term of 1 year. Directors ang tawag kapag stock corporation. Trustees naman sa non-stock corporation shall be elected for a term not exceeding 3 years. Pwede 1 year, pwede 2 years, pwede 3 years, but not more than 3 years. And these directors or trustees will hold office until their successors are elected and qualified. For educational institution, trustees of non-stock educational institution may classify themselves so that the term of office of 1/5 of their member expires every year with terms lasting 5 years. So every year, 1/5 ng Board of Trustees ng non-stock educational institution dapat mag-expire. Hindi pwede sabay-sabay sila lahat. 1/5 lang every year. So that means 5 years ang pwede mag-term ng 5 years ang trustees ng non-stock educational institution. So what are the qualifications of a director? A director must be a holder of at least 1 share of stock registered in the corporation's book. So hindi pwede maging director kung hindi ka naman stockholder. A trustee must be a member of a corporation, of the non-stock corporation. Cessation of stock ownership or membership automatically results in the cessation of office. So pag director ka or trustee ka, nawala na yung stock mo, na-dispose mo, or yung member ka, hindi ka na member, mag-stop din yung magiging director or trustee mo. So only a member of a non-stock corporation may be elected as a trustee, except for independent trustees of non-stock corporation vested with public interest. Ano ang disqualifications ng directors? A person is disqualified from being director, trustee, or officer if within 5 years prior to election or appointment, the person was convicted, kulong by final judgment of an offense punishable by imprisonment for a period exceeding 6 years. Take note, dapat ang kulong niya is more than 6 years para maging disqualified siya. If less than, hindi na siya disqualified. If na-convict siya for violating the revised corporation code, if na-convict siya for violating the securities regulation code, if found administratively liable for any offense involving fraudulent acts, if found liable by a foreign court or regulatory authority for acts similar to those listed above, the Securities and Exchange Commission, regulatory agencies, or Philippine Competition Commission may impose additional qualifications or disqualifications to promote good corporate governance. So ano itong mga corporations vested with public interest? Corporations deemed vested with public interest are subject to heightened regulatory governance requirements, particularly concerning board composition and transparency. Mas stricto dito kasi naka-involve ang public eh. So, ano itong mga corporations vested with public interest? Ito yung number 1, mga corporation covered by Section 17.2 of RS 8799 or the Securities Regulation Code, whose securities are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, corporation listed in a stock exchange, or those corporations with assets of at least 50 million pesos and having 200 or more shareholders. Number 2, vested with public interest din yung banks and quasi-banks. NSSSLAs, pawn shops, corporations engaged in money service business, pre-need, pre-need trust, insurance companies, and other financial intermediaries. Other corporations that the SEC may determine to be vested with public interest. So itong tatlong klase ang corporations vested with public interest. Independent directors. Ano ito? The board of corporations vested with public interest must have independent directors constituting at least 20% of such board. So yung nilista kanina na tatlong klase ng corporations vested with public interest, required sila na yung board nila may independent directors na 20% ng total board. Ano naman itong mga independent directors? An independent director is defined as a person who is independent of management and is free from any business relationship that could reasonably be perceived to materially interfere with the exercise of independent judgment apart from shareholdings and fees received from the corporation. So itong mga independent directors, mga shareholders din sila pero hindi sila kasali sa management ng corporation para free sila from bias. Okay? Kasi kung kasali ka sa management ng corporation, siyempre sabihin mo magaling ka ang management ninyo. Okay? So dapat hindi ka kasali sa management para mag-criticize mo yung management independently. So independent directors must be elected by the shareholders present or entitled to vote in absentia during the election of directors. Ini-elect din sila, yung independent directors. They are subject to the rules of the SEC, and the SEC prescribes their qualification, disqualification, term, maximum number of board membership, and the SEC also has the authority to prescribe the number of independent directors and the minimum criteria for determining a director's independence. Elections. Elections of the board of directors or board of trustees. Kailangan ng quorum. For the election of directors or trustees, the owners of a majority of the outstanding capital stock or a majority of the members entitled to vote must be present in person, by proxy, or through remote communication or voting in absentia. So at least majority nandyan ng mga botante. So paano ang voting? In stock corporation, stockholders use cumulative voting. Ulitin ko lang yung cumulative voting meaning, kung ilan yung stocks na hawak mo, i-multiply mo sa number of directors na iboboto. Yun ang total number ng votes mo. Pwede mo iboto sa isang tao lang, sa marami, sa dalawa lang, sa tatlo. Bahala ka. Basta yung total number of voting votes mo, hindi magsobra. And no delinquent stocks shall be voted. Nominees receiving the highest number of votes are declared elected. O kasi yung highest votes, mission siya ang deemed elected. When is there a failure of election? If no election is held or quorum is not present, kunti lang ang nag-attend, the meeting may be adjourned and the non-holding must be reported to the SEC within 30 days from the scheduled date, specifying a new date which must not be later than 60 days. The SEC may summarily order the election if the non-holding is unjustified. So pag hindi natuloy ang eleksyon ng board, i-report ka agad sa SEC within 30 days. Tapos isulat doon kung kailan ang next na schedule ng eleksyon, which must not be more than 60 days. May power din ang SEC na mag-order ng eleksyon. Removal. Paano nire-remove ang director? So any director or trustee may be removed from office by a vote of the stockholders or members. Sila nagboto, sila din ang pwede magtanggal. Basta at least 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock or members entitled to vote. Pwede nila i-remove ang director or trustee. So paano ang procedure? Removal must take place at a regular or special meeting called for that purpose after previous notice of the intention to propose such removal. So mag-meeting talaga sila. So what are the causes for removal? Removal may be with or without cause, provided that removal without cause may not be used to deprive minority stockholders or members of the right of representation. Okay, kung if ang director na binoto ng minority stockholders, hindi pwede tanggalin without just cause. So yung disqualified director, the SEC may motu proprio. Motu proprio meaning the SEC on its own, motu proprio, or upon verified complaint, order the removal of a director who was elected despite a disqualification for whose disqualification arose or was discovered subsequently. So, pwede tanggalin ng SEC on its own kahit na walang nag-request. Pwede rin mayroong mag-request through verified complaint. Alisin yung director or trustee if na-discover na disqualified pala talaga siya. Ito, vacancies. May bakante sa board. Siguro namatay, nagkasakit, or resign yung director na trustee. Sino mag-fill in? Di ba ang nagboto ng board of directors or board of trustees mga stockholders? Pero pag may bakante, nagka-vacant, tapos may quorum pa rin na natira sa board, if the quorum exists sa board, si board na ang mag-fill sa vacancy. Hindi na si stockholders. Take note, pwede lang gawin ito if may quorum pa rin ang board. Ibig sabihin, majority ng board members nandyan pa rin. So any vacancy not due to removal or expiration of term may be filled by both at least a majority of the remaining stockholders, remaining directors or trustee if they still constitute a quorum. Yung vacancy naman will be filled by the vote of stockholders of members kung wala ng quorum or tinanggal sila mismo nagtanggal doon sa director or nag-expire na yung term ng director. O si stockholder members, magboto na sila. If no quorum exists, or if the vacancy is due to removal or expiration of term, or increase in the number of directors or trustee, the vacancy must be filled by the stockholders or members in a regular special meeting. I-take note nyo kung ano yung vacancy na pwede fill in lang ng board or ano yung dapat stockholders na ang dapat fill ng vacancy. Ang term, yung nag-fill in ng vacancy, ang term niya is only for the unexpired term of the predecessor. Kung 1 year na lang natira doon sa umalis na director or trustee, yun na lang din ang term ng bagong nag-fill in. Ito, very important, emergency board. Bakit nagkaroon ng emergency board? Kasi nawala na yung board or kunti na lang natira. If a vacancy prevents a quorum and emergency action is required to prevent grave, substantial, and irreparable loss or damage, the vacancy may be temporarily filled from among the officers by the unanimous vote of the remaining directors or trustee. The action of this emergency director or trustee is limited to the necessary emergency action, and their term ceases upon termination of the emergency or election of the replacement. The corporation must notify the SEC within 3 days of the creation of the emergency board. O pag wala ng quorum, di ba dapat stockholders na ang mag-fill in sa vacancy? Pag merong emergency, pwede na ang board magpili sa mga officers niya para maging emergency director or emergency trustee para lang ma-actionan yung emergency na kailangan aksyonan. Pagkatapos ng emergency, alis na rin yung yung emergency na director or trustee para ma-fill in na ng regularly ng filling up of vacancy. And kapag nagkaroon ng emergency board, dapat ipaalam sa SEC within 30 days na nagkaroon ng emergency board. Take note of this. This is very important. Compensation, may sweldo ba ang board of directors at saka board of trustees? Or may sweldo ba ang director at saka trustee? In the absence of bylaw provision, directors or trustees shall not receive any compensation in their capacity as such except for reasonable paradigm. So kung gusto nyo sweldohan yung director or trustee, sulat nyo sa bylaws. Pag wala nakasulat, paradigm lang ang pwede nila i-claim. Sino mag-approve ng sweldo? Yung stockholders representing at least majority of the outstanding capital stock or majority of members may grant directors, trustees, compensation and approve the amount at a meeting. So, hindi pwede si board ang mag-approve, dapat si stockholders or si members. Limit. The total yearly compensation if may sweldo si director or si trustee shall not exceed 10% of the net income before income tax of the corporation during the preceding year. So yung total compensation ng lahat ng directors should not be more than 10% of the income last year. Self-determination. Directors or trustees shall not participate in the determination of their own paradigms or compensation. Para fair. Baka kasi sobrahan nila yung sweldo nila. Reporting. Corporations vested with public interest must submit an annual report of the total compensation of each of their directors or trustees to the shareholders and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ipaalam. O disloyalty of a director or a trustee. Discussed in the context of the business judgment rule. So the business judgment rule is a legal doctrine that shields corporate directors and officers from liability for honest, good faith business decisions that turn out to be unprofitable. So yung business judgment rule, ito yung aksyon ng directors and officers ng board na honest, in good faith naman in their business decisions, pero it turned out na unprofitable, hindi sila liable doon. Part of the business lang yun, part of the risk. So the courts will not interfere or question the board's judgment on matters of policy and management as long as the decision is made in good faith. Dapat in good faith. Ibang usapan kung bad faith. With reasonable care and prudence, and within the scope of their authority. Because the business judgment rule presumes that the directors are acting in the best interest of the corporation, but it does not protect decisions made in bad faith, with fraud, or with gross negligence. The business judgment rule will not apply if the director acts in bad faith or with a corrupt motive. The director has a conflict of interest and stands to benefit personally from the transaction. The director is grossly negligent, fails to consider all material facts, or acts outside the scope of their authority. So what is the application of the business judgment? The rule is applied in cases where a plaintiff alleges that the directors have breached their duty care in making a business decision. Solidary liabilities for damages. Kailan solidary liable ang mga directors or trustees? So directors or trustees shall be held jointly and severally liable for all damages resulting therefrom suffered by the corporation, its stockholders, members, and other persons if they willingly or knowingly vote or assent to patently unlawful acts of the corporation. Kung alam nila na unlawful yung ginagawa nila, tapos nakakos ng damage sa corporation, sa stockholders, or other person, liable yung mga directors and trustees. Another is when they are guilty of gross negligence or bad faith in directing the affairs of the corporation. Number 3 is when they acquire personal or pecuniary interests in conflict with their duty as directors or trustee. O dito na yung disloyalty na. Itong tatlo na ito ang disloyalty. Liable sila solidarily with each other, yung mga guilty. So personal liabilities of directors, trustees, or officers. The liability is imposed personally upon directors, trustees, or officers in several instances. Number 1, in case of water stock. Ano nga yung water stock? Ang water stock is when ang binayad para sa stock is less than the par value. 100 peso yung par value ng stock. Ang siningil lang ng board 90 pesos, then that is a watered stock. Kulang yung binayad. A director or officer who consents to the issuance of stocks for insufficient consideration or less than the par or issued value or overvalued property shall be liable to the corporation or its creditors solidarily with the stockholder concerned for the difference between the value received and the par value issued. Or issued value, I mean. For disloyalty also, a director, trustee, or officer who acquires an interest adverse to the corporation, nagkompetensya siya sa corporation in respect of any matter reposed in them in confidence shall be liable as a trustee for the corporation and must account for the profits. Ibig sabihin, kung yung director or trustee nag-traitor sa corporation, maybe nakipagkompetensya siya sa negosyo ng corporation. So, yung naging profits niya doon sa pagkompetensya niya, he is liable as a trustee for the corporation. Ibig sabihin, yung pera yung profits, dapat i-surrender niya sa corporation. Fraud or illegality. If the corporation commits a violation of the revised corporation code, the penalty may be imposed upon the directors, trustees, officers, or employees responsible for the violation or indispensable to its commission. So para maging safe ka, huwag kang sumali doon sa fraudulent and unlawful acts of the other directors. Ano yung crimes? If a violation of the revised corporation results in a penalty against the corporation, the penalty may be imposed upon the corporation or upon its directors, trustees, stockholders, members, officers, or employees responsible for the violation or indispensable to its commission. Kung sino yung may gawa, sila magiging liable. Kung sino yung mga guilty. A director, trustee, or officer who knowingly fails to sanction, report, or file appropriate action with the proper agencies and who allows or tolerates graft and corrupt practices or fraudulent acts committed by employees shall be punished with a fine. Okay. Special fact doctrine, special fact doctrine. Ano ito? The special fact doctrine is not a prominent doctrine in the Philippine corporation law. Rather, it's more of a general common law principle that applies in specific circumstances. Ano yung special fact doctrine? It is applicable when a crucial fact is known only to one party and could not have been discovered by the other through ordinary diligence, requiring the one with exclusive knowledge to disclose it. So, siya lang yung may alam, hindi alam ng iba. And then dapat ipaalam niya dapat yun. How does the doctrine work? Okay. Unique knowledge. The doctrine applies when the material fact is something that is not public information and is peculiarly within the knowledge of one party. So kapag ang director may alam na hindi alam ng iba, meron siyang unique knowledge. Number 2, lack of ordinary discovery. Yung knowledge na yon, the other party must not have been able to discover the information through the exercise of ordinary intelligence or diligence. Hindi basta-basta malaman ng ibang directors. The duty to disclose, yung nakakalam na director, when these conditions are met, the party with the special knowledge has the duty to disclose the information to the other party. Okay. Yung mga facts about the corporation na importante sa corporation, dapat i-disclose niya kung wala namang nakakalam na iba, siya lang nakakalam. Ito yung special fact doctrine. May alam ang isang director na hindi alam ng iba, dapat ipaalam niya. Yun. So the classic Philippine case illustrating this doctrine is Strong versus Rapid D. So the case involves the sale of shares in a sugar company. The buyer was the managing director of the company, and the seller's agent sold the shares without her explicit authorization. O hindi niya alam. The buyer had special knowledge of the company's true condition, but he did not disclose this information to the seller. The Supreme Court ruled that the buyer's knowledge and non-disclosure constitute a violation of the special fact doctrine and the sale was voided. So pag na-violate ang special fact doctrine, pwede ma-invalidate yung action. Inside information. Inside information is a material information that is not generally available to the public and gives a person access to information that is not publicly known. So pagka may information about sa corporation na hindi alam ng public, that is called an inside information. So yung directors, officers, or other insiders have this information because of their position, giving them an unfair advantage over the shareholder. So hindi alam ng mga stockholders, sila lang nakakalam. Ang tawag dun sa information na alam nila, na hindi alam ng stockholders or ng public, is inside information. Yung self-dealing ng mga directors. A contract between the corporation and one of its directors or more, trustees and officers, or their spouses and relatives within the fourth civil degree of consanguinity or affinity is voidable at the option of the corporation unless certain conditions are met. So, self-dealing directors or trustees or officers, pati yung kanilang asawa at saka mga kamag-anak up to the fourth civil degree, pag may transaction sila with the corporation, yung transaction nila is voidable. Ibig sabihin, pwede ipa-cancel ng corporation. Baka kasi disadvantageous sa corporation. Baka nag-take advantage yung director, trustee, officer, pati yung mga kamag-anak nila. So the contract is considered valid if the following conditions are met. So kung self-dealing contract yon, valid naman if these are met. Number one, the interested director or trustee's presence was not necessary to constitute the quorum in the board meeting. The interested director or trustee, yung vote niya was not necessary for the approval of the contract. The contract is fair and reasonable under the circumstances. For corporations vested in public interest, material contracts must be approved by at least two-thirds of the entire board, including at least a majority of the independent directors voting to approve. Number 5, if the interested party is an officer, the contract must have been previously authorized by the board of directors. So, yung contract ng self-dealing director or trustee, nandito yung lahat ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, valid yun. Pag wala yung any of the pag wala yung mga conditions na yan, voidable yung contract. Ibig sabihin, valid pa rin pero pwede ipa-cancel pwede ipa-void ng corporation. So if conditions 1, 2, 3 are absent for a director or trustee contract, the contract may still be ratified by a vote of stockholders representing at least two-thirds of the outstanding capital stock or members, provided that there is full disclosure of the adverse interest and the contract is fair and reasonable. So kapag present yung pagka-absent yung condition 1, 2, 3 kanina, pwede naman i-ratify ng stockholders representing at least two-thirds of the outstanding capital stock. Okay, and ano din itong interlocking directors? A contract between two corporations with interlocking directors, meaning dalawang corporation, yung mga directors nila, one or more, pareho. Okay, yung contracts nila between yung two corporations na yon shall not be invalidated on that ground alone, provided that the contract is fair, reasonable, and there is no fraud. So, hindi ibig sabihin interlocking directors, invalid na ang contract. Valid pa rin yun. Okay? If the interest of the interlocking director in one corporation is substantial, meaning it exceeds 20% of the outstanding capital stock, and the interest in the other corporation is merely nominal, the contract, as far as the latter corporation is concerned, must comply with the strict rules on governing self-dealing. Okay, kung ang isang director, masyado nang malaki ang kanyang stock sa kabila ng corporation 20% or more, sa kabilang corporation naman is nominal lang, baka kasi gina-take advantage nung isang corporation yung nominal lang na corporation. So yung rules sa self-dealing kanina dapat i-observe ng director. Executive committees. If the bylaws permit, the board may create an executive committee composed of at least 3 directors. Hindi siya hindi need ang executive committee. Kung lang nakasulat sa bylaw, walang executive committee. So kung kailangan ng executive committee, dapat isulat sa bylaws. The committee may by majority vote on specific matters delegated by the bylaws or by the board, except with respect to the following non-delegable powers. So yung executive committee, pwede i-delegate ng board of director doon sa kanila ang mga ibang powers ng board. Except dito, number 1, approval of any action requiring shareholder approval. Number 2, filling of vacancies in the board. Number 3, amendment or repeal of bylaws or adoption of new bylaws. amendment or repeal of board resolution that is expressly non-amendable or non-repealable. Distribution of cash dividends to shareholders. So itong 5 nito, dapat ang board talaga mismo ang mag-approve, hindi ang executive committee. Special committees. The board may create special committees which may be temporary or permanent and define their members' terms, composition, compensation, powers, and responsibilities. So, dito naman, meetings. Dito naman is meeting ng board. Hindi ito meeting ng stockholder, meeting ito ng board. So, ang meeting of board of directors or trustees may be regular or special. So, regular meetings must be held monthly. Yung stockholder, annually. Ang board meeting, monthly. Unless the bylaws state otherwise. Special meetings may also be made by the board at any time upon the call of the president or as provided by the bylaws. Meetings of the board may be held anywhere in or outside the Philippines unless the bylaws provide otherwise. O yung board meeting pwede pala outside sa Philippines. Pero yung stockholders meeting must be in the principal place of business. Kung hindi pwede doon lang sa municipality or city ng principal office. Pero ang board meeting may be held anywhere whether inside or outside the Philippines. Basta nakasulat sa bylaws. Notice of the meeting must be given 2 days to the director or trustee prior to the meeting unless a longer period is provided in the bylaws. Sino mag-preside ng meeting? The chairman or in the chairman's absence, the president shall preside at all meetings of the directors or trustees unless the bylaws provide otherwise. Iba palang chairman sa president? Iba yun. Yung chairman, yun siya yung binoto ng mga directors na maging chairman nila. Yung president naman, siya yung head ng management. Pwede ibang chairman sa president. Pwede rin naman na parehong tao lang yan. Depende na sa board. Quorum. May quorum din sa meeting ng board. Unless the articles of incorporation or bylaws require a greater majority, a majority of the directors or trustees as stated in the articles of incorporation shall constitute a quorum to transact corporate business. A decision reached by at least a majority of the directors and trustees constituting a quorum is valid as a corporate act. Basta may quorum sa meeting, valid yung act ng board. The election of officers requires the vote of majority of all the members of the board. So kung mag-elect sila ng officers nila sa board, requires the majority vote of all the members of the board. Remote communication. Yung mga stockholders, pwede sila mag-attend ng meeting through remote communication or in absentia. Dito naman, directors or trustees who cannot physically attend or vote at a board meeting can participate rin through remote communication such as video conferencing, teleconferencing, or other alternative modes that allow them reasonable opportunities to participate. Sa stockholders meeting, pwede mag-vote in absentia ang mga stockholder. Pero dito sa board, walang in absentia, remote lang. And while yung sa stockholders meeting, pwede mag-attend ng proxy, ang proxy ng stockholders sa board of directors, bawal ang proxy. Kasi dapat ang director or trustee mismo ang mag-attend. Hindi pwede ibang tao. Bawal ang proxy sa board meetings. Pwede ang proxy sa stockholders meeting, pero hindi pwede ang proxy sa board meetings. Rule on abstention. Yung mag-abstain. A director or trustee who has a potential interest in any related party transaction must recuse from voting or approval of the transaction. This recusal is required without prejudice to comply with the requirements set forth for self-dealing contracts. So, pwede mag-abstain ang director or trustee pagka meron siyang conflict of interest. That is the end of topic 9.